Hi everybody, if I have this list of a student with their mark and I need to know the passed students and the failed students, the very traditional way is to check the mark for each student. But what if you have like thousands of students? This will be highly time consuming, will require hard effort to do that. But Excel has a function that is specially for this purpose. This function is called if function. If function is a logical function. It do a comparison to compare the values with a condition. And if this matches the condition, it will do something. If not, it will do something else. As if is a function, it has a syntax. The general syntax of if statement, if is equals, the function name is if, and between parentheses, we have three parameters. First is the condition or the criteria that I want to check. Then the second parameter is what happens if this criteria match or the condition is true. The third parameter is what happens if this condition or criteria doesn't match. And these three parameters are separated by comma. For example, if I need to check if the mark is greater than or equal to 50, then the student passes. If the mark is less than 50, that will retrieve fail. So my condition depends on the value of the mark. And if this value true, this will write pass. If not, will write fail. Let's apply it. I want to apply this here. I will write equals if my mark is in this cell B3 and the condition greater than or equal to 50. This is my condition. If B3, which is the mark, is greater than or equal to 50, then what will happen, comma? If this is true, between parentheses, write pass. If you have a text value, you need to write it between quotation. If not, not means otherwise. If it is 50 or more, otherwise will be less than 50. So I don't need to write the second condition. The last condition I don't need, or the last criteria, I don't need to write it. I just write the result, which is fail. So if condition, if the condition is true, then if the condition is false. Now this student has 70, so the student passed. I can, from the handle, drag to paste the function. Every student that has 50 or more will be pass. Students that are less than 50 will have fail. But what if I revised the marks and I found some mistakes? Like, for example, Ahmed has 45, but I found that Ahmed has the correct mark for Ahmed is 60. It will automatically change. Dina has 50, but when we recheck her paper, we find that she deserves only 40. So now Dina go from pass to fail. This is called simple if. Simple if has only one condition and the two responses, if true and if false. What if I need to use calculation inside if? Let's have another example. We have sales and we need to give bonus depending on the sales. For example, if the sales is more than 1200, I need a bonus of 3% of sales. Otherwise, zero. I will apply the if statement, but the value if true and false are mathematical calculation. How can we do that? Equals if. And if has three parameters. Logical test, which is the condition. What happens if this test is true, and what happens if this test is false. My logical test is if the sales, here is the sales, is more than 1200. Notice that I didn't use equals, so 1200 is out of the rule. Then comma. The value is true is not a value, but a mathematical calculation. I need to multiply the sales by 3%. So I will go back to take the sales and use the multiplication symbol, then 3%. If false, just add 0. So it means that if you find the sales above 1200, take this value of the sales and multiply it by 3%. If not, just give 0. If not means 1200 or less. And that's it. Let's drag the function. Now, any value that is above 1200 will have 3% of the sales as a bonus. Otherwise, 0. If you notice, when I use a formula or I use a mathematical equation inside if, I don't include it in quotation, because text is the only one that included in quotation. If you include the expression or the mathematical calculation in quotation, Excel will add it as it is, because it will consider it as text. Let's paste the function. As a result, if I included the expression, the mathematical equation between quotation, Excel will paste it as it is inside the cell, because Excel will consider it as text, will not calculate it. If you have text, you should include it in quotation. If you have anything other than text, like number, date, or a mathematical equation, don't include it in quotation. And to correct this, I will just go and remove the quotation and drag the function. That's all for today, guys. Thank you.